Thank you, Annette. The Tennessee Supreme Court has ruled that fear of getting COVID-19 is no longer a good enough reason to vote absentee. You heard Brad mention this earlier. While it's too late to have an effect on today's primary, it does mean fear of the virus is not a valid excuse for the November election. But a U of M law professor who argued in favor of absentee voting says the ruling is not a total loss. Here's Local 24 News reporter Mike Matthews.
You know, in the world where everything is supposed to be just hunky-dory, a court ruling is supposed to clear up any confusions. For example, the Tennessee State Supreme Court ruled that pandemic panic is not a reason that can be used to get an absentee vote. Hold on. You'd expect the lawyers who fought to allow those afraid of contracting COVID, you'd expect them to be upset with this ruling. And University of Memphis law professor Steve Mulroy is a little.
Actually, the important thing here is that anybody with an underlying medical condition or who is a caretaker of such a person will be able to vote absentee in November thanks to the court decision, which had not been true before.
Now, if you're 60 years of age or older, if you're going to be out of town, well, obviously those are some of the reasons allowed to absentee vote. Mulroy says here's the list.
When you add up all the people in Tennessee who have hypertension, diabetes, obesity, smoking, cancer, or their caretakers, a substantial majority of Tennessee voters will still be able to vote absentee.
Across the state, the fear of COVID excuses for absentee voting has resulted in a lot of mail-in ballots, including more than 15,000 in Shelby County.
You saw levels that would be more typical of a November presidential election. But, on the other hand, it was nowhere near the system-crashing flood that the state was claiming when they argued that they just couldn't handle expansion of absentee voting.
And remember the talk about those new voting machines Shelby County's supposed to get? Well, they say they're going to be here in time for November's election. In Memphis, Mike Matthews, Local 24 News.